All right, Marin, I want to start with you for the lightning round today. And then I'm just going to go down the line. So to go Marin, Stash, Gareth, and then Joe. That's how I see it on my screen. So that's how we're going to do it. We saw that Bitcoin flash crash today, down to 50,000. How low is Bitcoin going to go? Is the bottom in? Is the top in? What are your thoughts, Marin?
I think that given that we are currently experiencing a new moon solar eclipse tomorrow, solar eclipses are always new moons. And if you look at Bitcoin, strongly correlate with stocks that move down. I don't bottom yet. I think that if we look at the chart that, I'm obviously macro bullish. I don't think that the entire market structure has been destroyed or anything, but I think that for what it's worth, at this point, we're still on a downtrend. I think we could, right now I'm eyeing 50 to 48K. I think 50.5 is really where I'm looking at for a good local bottom at this point, but I think as low as 48K could happen, and until proven otherwise, I think that we are in a downtrend. So sale.
There you go. All right, Stash, what are your thoughts? Is the bottom in? Have we topped out? Let everybody know what your thoughts are.
I don't know if we're really either. I don't know that the bottom is in. I don't know that we've really topped out either. I think that there's still some gas left in this bowl, and I think that we will see some price recovery here leading into the new year. But right now, we are at a support level. We are at a pretty decent support level for Bitcoin at about 53,000. If it does kind of break below this 53,000 pretty aggressively, I could definitely see us hitting what Marin was talking about with the target around 48 to 50K, because that's kind of the next stop, I would say, of we're looking at the chart long term, that we have some support at. I don't see it going anywhere below that. Not right now, not at this point. I'm still calling for this to be one of the longest bull runs we've ever had, and I think that we're going to see this going into March. But there's going to be some choppy action, and I think a lot of people are expecting this to be. There's a bunch of terms for it, but December in general, people are expecting it to be this huge, explosive month, and I don't think we're going to get it. I think that Bitcoin loves to break our expectations and screw us over, especially during the Christmas time. We're like, screw you guys, we're going into the new year, and that's when we're going to pump hard. So that's where I think that we are in short and midterm.
Perfect. And I think that what you did was probably scare some environmentalists there. You said there's more gas in the bowl, and I know that they're worried about the greenhouse emissions.
Give them the hordes, Stash. Give them the hordes.
There it is. There it is. All right, Gareth. What are your thoughts on this Bitcoin price action? Are we topped, bottom? What are you thinking?
So I'll show my charts here because it's just the coolest thing in the world, right? So the dip today, it seemed like this crazy crash, short-term crash, and then you've seen price recover. But what's amazing, check this out. You connect this low pivot right to this low here. So you connect these right through, and look at the price on Bitcoin went exactly to that low on that trend line and then got a bounce. So that's just such a cool thing to see in terms of charting. And then just another one here. Let me just put in some other stuff. So you can also see this trend line right here from this pivot top matches essentially perfectly to that. And let me just get that in. And so that explains why Bitcoin found some support here on a technical basis. So short term, you've definitely hit a little bit of support here. The question is, are we headed right back up? I'm skeptical on this. So I'm in the camp where some of you guys have mentioned maybe 48 to 49,000 in that range. I think you get a short-term bounce. Maybe it holds up over the weekend. What we're seeing is the bleed through from and I'm a stock person, so I trade stocks. So we've seen a lot of declines in the stock market over the last week. Today was another nasty down day, and that creates this deleveraging effect where the stock market deleverages and then it bleeds into crypto. So that kind of explains why you got this little bit of a flush. So I'm in the camp again, maybe a little bit of a bounce over the weekend, but you could see more downside next week to about 48,000. My target on 48,000 comes from, let me show you guys this. So there's an inverse head and shoulder retrace that gives you this level right here. So that's kind of a cool little basis right there for where you could find some support. And again, it's right around 48,000, 48,500. So I think short term, it's on shaky ground. I'm still in the camp that Bitcoin may have topped out in this cycle with the double top with the pierce of the April 2021 highs. And I'm just playing it on the sidelines. I did pick up a little polka dot today on the dip, and I did pick up a little Tezos as well. But I'm staying away from Bitcoin until it kind of corrects a little bit more.
Now, let me ask you a quick question to kind of follow up on that, Gareth. I know this is the lightning round, but if you see Bitcoin kind of go below that 48 mark that you were just talking about, would that cause concern for you?
Yeah, it definitely would. Now, keep in mind, panic, especially in the crypto market, tends to flush things through levels briefly before they bounce back. So I'd want to see like a daily close below that level before I got too worried about it. In fact, I'll be a buyer for a quick swing trade off that 48,000-ish area. But yeah, I mean, if you start trading below 48,000, there's really no stopping it until you get back to 40,000, and 40,000 would be the next major support.
Wow. All right. All right. I appreciate it. Great information come from you, Gareth. All right, Joe Paris, what are your thoughts on the Bitcoin price action? What are you thinking?
Well, thank you again for having me back on the show. Sincerely grateful to be here. And one thing that I did take a look at this morning was the fear and greed index. And something that I mentioned on my YouTube channel about a month ago was how high it was at like 80 or 90. I think it was like 80, 70, somewhere around there. And I was like, it's getting pretty high. And we had the most leverage I think we ever had in like a very long time. And so I'm not surprised to see this correction happening. And we are still, as Gareth just said, in and on that trend line. We bounced right on it. So if, how low will Bitcoin go? It really can't go much lower for this to continue on the upward trajectory. And I would say, if you look at the fear and greed index today, it was at like 31, right? And there's always that saying is, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, right? And so this could be, again, if we're still in the bull market is going on, we're going to head towards 100,000. This could be an opportunity. Now, that being said, there is more risk now at this point, and there's always that opportunity that we could be, breaking trend. And if that happens, like our other guests have alluded to here, that could be very problematic. And so sitting on your hands, kind of waiting to see what happens might not be a bad idea. Again, not financial advice, but I think we covered a lot of bases here, and I think everyone did a really nice job.
Great point there, Joe. And if it is always some good advice, if you're not sure what to do, like Joe said, sit on your hands. It's hard to hit the sell button if you can't touch it, right?
True.
That was my first attempt at a bad dad joke. I got a little chuckle from Stash, but that was it. All right.